Hello students and welcome to today's video which will teach you how to correctly complete a math weekly. There are 4 supplies that you need in order to complete this tutorial, and they are 3 handouts. The first is a Math Weekly due dates paper which has a direction sheet on the back of it. I will be referencing that direction sheet, so you will need that available. I would also like you to have a copy of the formula sheets for 7th and 8th grade because I will be referencing them as a resource to help you when you don't know what to do. And the last thing that you need is a Math Weekly practice sheet, which has 4 questions on it that we will be working together during this video, one of each type, and we will see what it looks like on lined paper to complete your Math Weekly assignment. So you'll also need a blank lined piece of paper. So let's start out with, what is a Math Weekly? A Math Weekly is what I refer to as a weekly assignment that you will turn in on Fridays. Now, there are a couple times during the school year where we do not have school on a Friday. Those weeks, your Math Weekly will be due on Thursday. You can see when they are due specifically by looking at that handout that has all the due dates on it. The due dates are there for the entire year. They are subject to change if the calendar would change, but for the most part, typically stay the same. The purpose of a Math Weekly is to give you the opportunity to learn and practice one new skill a week. So each Math Weekly assignment, whether you're a 7th grader or an 8th grader, will focus on one main skill. At the top of a Math Weekly, I will show you what that skill is. So you'll see it in bold print so that you know exactly what the Math Weekly is trying to teach you. There are perks to our Math Weekly assignment, and the first is that it gives you additional opportunities to learn new skills or review skills that you have previously learned. The questions require you to think, which develops your abilities to learn. Do not think that a Math Weekly will have all easy questions like 2 plus 2, obviously, but they are going to push you to think deeper and more critically about the skill, which in turn will help you learn more. The depth of knowledge of the questions that you will practice on your Math Weekly are very similar to what you will see on your PSSA, so it's good prep for that PSSA at the end of the year. The one thing that students really like about the Math Weekly assignments is you don't get them weekly. You will actually get 5 Math Weekly assignments at a time, one due each week. This gives you as a student freedom to work ahead and at your own pace. Because you have that ability to work ahead and at your own pace, I do not accept PSSA weekly assignments late. If it's late, I don't take it at all, unless you are absent, and then it's expected the day that you return. Math Weekly assignments also give you the opportunity to earn extra credit points. If you get approximately 80% of the questions correct, you will earn 100%. Anything over 80% correct is bonus points, so this is where you get extra credit in my class. The number of points needed is clearly stated at the top of each assignment. For example, you'll see a statement like this: for 100%, you must answer 9 out of 11 questions correctly to receive 100%. So that means if you get 2 questions wrong out of the 11, you will still get 100%. If you get all 11 correct, you'll get 100% plus 2 bonus points that you can then have banked for other times that you may make a mistake. So what do you do if you don't know what to do whenever you have your Math Weekly? The first thing that you can do, if it's something that you need procedural clarification on, like I don't know how to do this, what do I do on my line paper, is look at that Math Weekly direction sheet that is on the back of your due dates paper. It looks like this. This outlines everything that I expect on your Math Weekly assignments. So anytime that you don't know what to do procedurally, check that out. Now, Now, remember, a Math Weekly is an opportunity to learn. There are going to be questions that you read the first time and you don't know how to answer. Here's why. If I always ask you questions that you already know, you're not going to learn anything more. I have to push you in order to learn deeper and more critical thinking skills. So don't expect that you're going to know the answer to every question. That's not going to happen. So what do you do when you don't know what to do is very important. So remember, work and effort create ability. Part of effort is using your resources. And by using your resources, I do not mean cheating. Cheating is never an option. However, there are some ways that you can use your resources. If you need help, ask. Ask me. See me during study hall. I will be glad to help you. Visit my webpage. Each Math Weekly has a corresponding video to help you. This is the website that can take you there. So write this website down and keep it somewhere safe. Use your textbook and or use your technology. You are the technological age. You can go on YouTube, Khan Academy, Google, etc. So many different apps out there for learning. Find something to help you. Each Math Weekly has a topic. Google it. Ask a peer for help, not answers. Answers does not create understanding. Be a friend and teach, not tell. Help them. Explain to them, but don't tell answers. That doesn't really help your friend. And last, use your formula sheet. For your convenience, both the 7th and 8th grade formula sheets are provided to you on that handout, so reference that anytime you need to. That's the same formula sheet that you will get on your PSSA weekly, for your PSSA. So that is a good tool to be very familiar with. So use it as a resource to help you when you don't know what to do. So now we're to the part where how do I complete a Math Weekly assignment? So I get this assignment. I understand that sometimes I'm going to need help. How do I actually complete it? What do I do? So there is first, before how do you complete it, there is a do not. When you get your Math Weekly assignment from me, it will be on a typed paper with 5 worksheets. You are not allowed to write on that paper at all. Don't even put your name on it. You'll notice there's no name line at the top. You need to return this paper to me without writing on it because I reuse them every year. That's environmentally friendly. So what you do need to do your Math Weekly assignment is a lined piece of paper. On the lined piece of paper, you are going to create a T-chart. A T-chart literally looks like its name. You are going to make a T, a T on it. You are going to label the left side answer. This is not optional. You need to do it the way I'm asking you. The left side is answer. And the right side, you need to label justify. Every PSSA every Math Weekly must have this format. If it does not have this format, it is automatically a 0. So on the left side, you're going to have one of 2 options. When you are telling me your answer, if the question is a multiple choice question, you will write the letter choice. So if it says A, B, C, or D and you think the answer is B, on that left side here, you would write number 1, B, on your answer side. Now, there is another option. If it is an open question, meaning there are no answer choices, you must restate the answer as a complete sentence. So, for example, if it says, how many miles per hour was Barb driving? And you put 50 miles per hour. Is that a sentence? No. You would put, Barb was driving 50 miles per hour. Now, you may think that it's the same thing, and essentially your number is the same thing, but by restating it, you're putting it into context. So, for example, what if you worked it out and you got 150 as your answer? If you just write 150 miles per hour, you might not think about it too much. But if you write, Barb was driving 150 miles per hour. Now, do you really think I would give you a math problem where someone was driving 150 miles per hour? Probably not. So which is going to make you go over to your justify and relook at your work. Restating your answer is important because it allows you to think about whether your answer is realistic or not. So on the left side, there are two options. If it's a multiple choice question, write the letter. If it's an open question, write a complete sentence. Failure to follow these directions result in no credit. So you need to follow the directions for how to show your answer. And this is outlined on your direction sheet. On the right side of the justify, where you justify your answer, you still have one of two options. Okay? So when you have your T-chart, we're talking about this right side where we justify our answer. Option 1, show your work. If the question lends itself to work being shown, for example, calculate the mean, solve an equation, calculate her miles per hour, you're going to need to show calculations. Show them here. 50 times 8 equals 400. 400 divided by 2 is 200. That is an example of showing your work. Show the calculations that it took to solve the problem. Option 2 is explain your thinking or give a rationale. If the question lends itself to an explanation, you can't show work. Instead, explain your thinking. This doesn't always mean in complete sentences, but you might just say a couple phrases over here that support the answer that you're giving. So for example, if the question asks, which statement below is irrelevant to the problem? Which one of these statements don't you need? There's no working anything out. You would just say, letter choice B is irrelevant because I don't need to know how much a skirt costs. The question was asking about shirts. Or whatever it is, you use words to explain your thinking. You do not need to do both. You need to do one of those two options depending on the way the question is formatted. Again, failure to follow these directions will result in no credit. So if you give me a paper and you have all the correct answers over here and you didn't justify any of them, it's a 0. How do I want to know what you are thinking? So this layout will help you understand how to complete your PSA Weekly. Notice it's or. Do one of these for every single question. And in part 2 of this video, we're going to do 4 questions together so that you can see the level of expectation that I have for each type of question.